I'm a simple man. I just wanted an M4 with a 203 and an ACOG.
You're looking at a artillery strike every 2 to 3 seconds.
Thinking about 60 million shells might as well be like thinking about the speed of light.
Thing's gonna kill us anyways. Why are you so sweating? It's like, at least we can check our email at the time. What's up, bitches? Oh my god, today we're back with my bestie, Mr. Chris Cappy. Hi, Cappy.
Hiya.
I'm so excited. You nailed it. Rich. Angry cops, fuck that. I was like, damn it.
How do you,
I don't remember. But it was like, he's like, fuck, damn it. Okay, 1 second. I was like, no, we're keeping all
Bye. I mean, no.
Eli, how are you doing? I'm like, we literally just talked about this. Okay. I'm like, just say it and I'll just cut it around.
Yeah. So well, he's a new papa. I was just texting him yesterday. Like, hey, dude, congratulations.
I'm so stoked for all the guys. I'm like, oh man, it's that change in life. Everyone change. Like, it's a good change. It is a good change. So y'all know show got us like a 21-year-old sipping whiskey, but I was like, my boy got to try this because it's one of the smoothest. It's like 50 or 60% too.
Cheers. You put it away?
That's like 55%.
Yes.
It's like a burner too, but then
too easy.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Not a shooting whiskey, and we waste it.
No, I mean, it brings me back to my 20s when I didn't appreciate anything, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll have the whatever Regal, whatever. They're like, sir, you're not supposed to shoot that, huh? Sir, you have a problem.
No, you have a problem. And when your finest bottom shelf. Bring it to
just ring it off of the bar into a cup.
How many quarters will that be?
Yes.
Gotcha. There you go. My man, how long? When you were one of the first episodes to say hi.
It was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Number 3 or 4.
You were pacing downstairs. It was like, oh, he was on the old set. Oh my god.
I thought we were doing it. That's how old school. That's how OG we are. But this is, we've upgraded, sir.
We did. It turned that lights off. Son of a bitch. That's supposed to have a nice 1 second.
Bring it together. It's nice. It's
right? See?
Bonsai.
Fucking dude, a fake one because that would die otherwise. Yeah, my man. So I mean, we just filmed Unsub today. It was a blast per usual, and then we had White Nick and Black Nick on.
Both of the. We just need now another. What's another type of Asian Nick?
Yellow Nick.
Yellow. I was gonna say Asian Nick, but that's more. That's a polite way of saying it.
Yeah. Yellow Nick.
Yes, we just need one of those. Throw one of those in, and then I think we filled every box.
We're fucking perfect.
Yeah, we were just missing one type of Nick, really. But yeah, it's nice. I'd like to come back once a year. I mean, if I could, we could just maybe check in once a year and see, just like, what's going on, how we been.
100% down with that. Every time we got to see you at the live shows because you were a homie. You showed up at the live shows,
which blew me away. Which I guess I'd seen the photos and stuff of the live shows, but it's kind of different when you actually go there and you experience it and you see. All of New Jersey showed up, and I'm sure a bunch of people also took the train from New York City, but they came out in force and they went hard.
It's the hardest thing to explain of how hard, like, it's a blast because it is loud. It is a show. It is not like a oh ha ha. It is holy shit.
Yeah, my wife was laughing too. I don't think she was expecting, because she doesn't watch my content. No. She's not. I don't think she doesn't care for my content. She doesn't watch the weapons rundowns. But she went into it not expecting to like have a blast, but she was laughing her ass off. Yeah.
I think that's when you get those mix of people. Like Rich, I really think is a pivotal part because his showmanship, and he gets he is the only one that loves doing that. Everyone else is. You have Cody, who is terrible, and then the different reactions to it, but. Rich goes out there and owns every moment.
How do you feel about being up in front of like hundreds, thousands of people.
For me, it's not like I just treat it like, oh, I have to go out
At
there.
first, was it? Because some people, they don't. It's not like a big deal. They don't get stage fright or like think about it.
I guess.
Was it ever?
I think the very, very first one, kind of a little. I was like, oh, okay. I just got to make sure everything is going. But I used to do like the personal training, so I had to do classes, and then I just never thought about it of like, oh my God. There was a moment again on the first one, which was like 450 people sold out in a small area, but it's still 450 people. And then you watch everyone's reaction. But now I'm like one of the few dudes that sleeps before the show. Cause I'm like, oh, I'm going to take a nap if I have to go out there.
Yeah. I saw you guys in the backstage with your like preparation rituals. Everyone's got their thing.
Nick listens to music and dude, and I'm just like, and then it's, hey, you got to go up on stage. I wake up, walk upstairs, and like, hey, what's up, everyone? Blah blah blah. I guess I don't think about it, and then it's always weird to me because I'll see one of Ethan the first time he was on. He was super fucking nervous, and I was like, "Why are you nervous for?" He was like, "I'm about to go on stage." I was like, "Dude, what? Oh my God, yeah, never mind. That's a lot of people out there, and you've never done this. I'm so sorry. Don't worry, you'll be fine." What is this? King Pix. Do you know King Pix?
I don't think so. Which one's King? What's
he does some military content. Shout out to him. But I did not think about this. This is Orlando, 2,300 seats sold out, and I was like, "Hey, just deliver the booze at this time on the stage, and I'll announce, and then you just come out." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I walked out, put it. I was like, "Hey, wait, stop! Come here, turn around." He's like, "Oh." And I didn't realize I just fucking put terror on him. I was like, wait, hold on. I'm going to talk to him. And he's like standing there and he didn't know what to do. He's like,
it affects different people differently.
How would you do in that?
I don't know. I've never done like really much of a live thing. I feel comfortable in front of cameras at this point, but I wasn't originally like comfortable in front of even cameras. But I don't know. I think it that kind of thing's terrifying, you know?
How was getting used to being on front of cameras for you? Because I think a lot of people, people out there have this, well, I'm bad at it or I'm afraid of it. I assure you, you're not the first person to suck when you get in front of a camera.
It helps to be able to know when you suck at something and to admit it. I had to admit it to myself because I did not want to admit that I sucked at it. I wanted to pretend that like I'm actually good at this, and that all the comments saying you suck at this were wrong. They were wrong. I was right. So that took adjustment. But yeah, you guys seem so, at this point, it's like a well-oiled machine. It's just really,
I mean, even you, like right now, your beats too, you're getting really good at those comedy beats. I was like, okay, homie's nailing it. You'll switch to, what was one of the free, ammo, the ammo problem. And then how much does that cost? Or it's like, you're in uniforms delivering along, like, great beat, great comedy beat.
That was a fun one.
What was the, but what was the videos originally where you're like, oh, these are rough as shit?
Like the first, I had to go online and look up like, how do you deliver lines? How do you change your inflection? Just because you can forget when you're creating content, it's easy to forget that you have to inflect and talk. And I didn't realize how kind of like monotone I can be sometimes. Yeah, little things like that, I think were big to learn.
Because what was some of the first videos you did? Like the very first one where you're like, ooh, that was rough.
I remember there was a lot of comments about people saying like, you're awful at this, you're terrible at your delivery. That the early ones, yeah, those were rough. I mean, I remember I started off just doing like Instagram videos, a lot of Instagram humor back in the day, Facebook stuff, just short videos.
I'm turning down the temperature. It was getting warm up here. I was like,
earlier when we were doing the unsubs, like 60, you had it at 60. You people here in San Antonio are fucking nuts. I went to the hotel also at 66 degrees.
69, I'm warm. Or I'm cold at 69. I'm like, oh man, 69.
People are going to be in the comments saying that like I'm wrong and 66 is not a psychopathic temperature to have. But apparently everyone here in San Antonio had that. Hotel had it set to that. It's 66 here.
What do you set it at?
At home, okay, if I'm sleeping, I like a 69.
Okay.
During the day, a 70.
Wait, do you want warmer or colder?
Right now,
Yeah.
cooler.
Okay. I'm like, wait.
No, I was talking about when we were downstairs earlier.
And so, was it too cold or
It was a
too?
little too cold.
Oh, I thought you wanted cold.
I'm being a Goldilocks. So
I read that wrong. I turned it down more because I thought you wanted it colder. I was like, oh shit. I thought this was fucking cold. Okay.
Oh, that's why.
Literally, I turned it down.
Because I did. No, I get now. I thought maybe that happened because I remember what I said to you was I was like, can you turn it down? What I meant was like.
I was like,
I meant down, like not. I meant, can you turn it down, like not so high? The fan is high.
Great usage of words.
Really communicated that very well. Yeah.
How would he have ever fucked up? Can you turn it down? I was like, I guess. I was like, man, it's cold as shit, but he's the guest.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
I thought you were like, man,
shit,
62
that's so stupid.
all the time. 69, fucking perfect. 71 when
okay,
I sleep
I'm actually
with a
really
sheet.
glad that we sorted that out and that you now know that I'm not a crazy person that was asking for it to be even colder. Okay. I imagine if I had left here, you thinking, damn, Cappy likes it cold.
Like, he keeps his house like 62. Yeah. It's like a refrigerator. His poor wife and child. Why do they live here and not Alaska?
Oh.
Makes way more sense. Okay. There we go. Glad we got that one down. Communication. Turn it down. What did we learn?
That was the absolute least effective, worst way to ask. Can you make it warmer?
Literally the fucking worst verbiage one can choose.
Fuck! God damn it!
I'm gonna have to text our editor. I'm like, hey Chase, when he says this, cut to this exact moment because he actually meant put it at 71 degrees. I was like, damn, it's 68. All right, I'm gonna go to 66, I guess.
No.
I'm gonna freeze this bitch out. So you got your first ones were like, okay, inflection. What was like one of the what did you feel like was your first strong video?
First strong ones were it was the XM7, the new rifle, which was at the time, I forget what it was called, but the NGSW. And I would just do videos on the next generation squad weapon. And anytime I did a video on that thing, it'd be like 1 million views every single time. And then I started thinking like, yeah, you can't be a one-trick pony and just talk about the XM7. That can't be everything you talk about. Nope. So I had to diversify out from there. Yeah, man, it was this. What a crazy journey. And building the channel the first time, it's a little different now. Building it like 6 years later, rebuilding it, and it acts differently. Oh yeah. So it's it's different now.
But people like, do you get stopped much in public? Or just, you're probably a decent amount, especially depending on what the event is.
When I'm in Texas, I'll get stopped more. When I'm in New Jersey at home, I don't go outside. So it does. I don't have to worry about it. So.
Work too much.
Yeah, very much just work. But yeah, like, and when I went to the live show, there were some people that was a nice feeling. Be like, oh my god,
one photo, and you're like, yeah, let's fucking do this thing in front of the wife. You're like, yeah, babe, I am important.
I gotta tell you this though, the first time someone recognized me, like years and years ago when I was at the airport, I was just leaving a bachelor party, so it was 6 a.m. I just gotten off of. You ever sleep at the airport on the ground?
Oh, yep.
Yeah. So I just gotten off the ground, hungover as shit, absolutely annihilated. Someone comes up to me and they're so excited to say hi and meet me. And I had never been met before, so like, I didn't even know. Now I can handle it well. I say, oh, what's your name? Tell me about, I can make this a better experience now, I promise. But at the time, I was shocked. First of all, I had my earplugs in, so I took my earplugs out. I was like, what? And he was like, oh, do I know you? And I'm like, I don't know, do you? So I handled it so awkwardly and so weird that years later, like a year ago, I'm on Twitter and I see that guy And he's like, yeah, I met that dude once at an airport in Austin. He's fucking weird and short. I was like, oh no. Oh, the cringe.
Let's talk about underwear and your junk. And Sheath and why they are so amazing. I'll throw those over my shoulder. Psh. I'm sure a lot of you have experienced uncomfortability, especially on summer days, with the wrong pair of underwear. Or just they let the twig berries bounce around. That doesn't feel good. You already know I love my Sheath underwear. Mainly because of this. The twig and berries holder. I love it as a twig and berries holder. And I use it. The dual pouch design, you mean? Well, it serves multiple purposes. Reducing skin contact, sticking, and discomfort. You know, everything that just makes you uncomfortable. And Sheath is made with the ultra breathable bamboo and cotton designs. But even better, it looks like your wee-wee and your butt are part of the space system. I think it looks like Jupiter. And one of the main reasons I do love Sheath, and I'm a big supporter of them, we all are, is because it is veteran owned, and an active duty soldier is the one who created that. And homie, I'm assuming knew about chafing and sweating. Yeah. Go to sheath.com/sayhi and use code SAYHI for 20% off. And Sheath even offers a first pair guarantee. So if it's not for you, you get your money back. But honestly, once you try these, there's no going back. That's Sheath, SHEATH.com/sayhi and use code SAYHI for 20% off.
The cringe.
The one off when you don't know what, because it is a weird experience if you've never had it.
And after I had that moment, I was like, well, you know, I didn't handle that well, but like at least he'll forget about it tomorrow and not remember it for 6 years.
He's stuck with it.
Yeah.
Did you reach out and you'd be like, hey, I am so sorry?
I did actually. I tweeted back at him. I was like, dude, I was shot out that morning. I was not at my best.
I'm so
but
sorry.
you must get recognized like all the time.
No, I mean, we're blessed. I think it's really cool. You get really fun interactions, and it's treating everyone with respect, excitement, and it is different because they know your story and you do not know any of their story. But because of them is why we get to do the things we do. So I am the most appreciative. I'll take the time, but I understand also like rushing, and it can be at certain times you're like, hey, I'm so sorry, I wish I could talk more, but I gotta go. Like the after show or after the live shows, it is, you want to talk to everyone, you want to hear the stories, but you have a bunch of people trying to do the same. So it's finding like enough time. You're like, hey, sorry, I gotta move this one next photo. Boom. But I love it, and it's one of those experiences where it can be weird. There's some funny stories, there's great stories. My favorite still is like Nick. It was one of the first ones he did, and the guy like came up and was like, oh, fucking blah, blah, blah. And Nick's like, yeah, do you want a photo? And the guy's like, no. I laughed, and Nick was like, never asking that again. I am never asking somebody ever.
That's amazing.
If they want a photo.
That makes me feel better. No, I'm good.
Fucking soul crushing. Fucking that weird.
Dude, it's so great to see. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I didn't suggest that.
No. Yeah. That was the one like awkward story that I could think of, but every other time it's been great. Like I was at a Publix in Florida and some guy, and it's great because you get to hear who are the people that like this content, who are the people out there that I'm connecting with and resonating with. And this guy was telling me about how he was like stationed in Europe in the 1980s, and he loves watching the videos because it kind of like reminds him of feels like you're in the service or hanging out with the guys again, kind of. But yeah, every other experience I've had with meeting people, like at shooting ranges and stuff, it's always a good experience.
Dude, I think that's the most important part is people are feeling connected, or they're feeling that relatable It's the keys to viral content, in my opinion, is like relatable or relevant. And it's that relatable. Oh, I remember this from the 1980s. When I watch your stuff, it feels like I'm hanging out with the guys, the boys. That's the purpose of unsub, or even this. This is more motivation. Yes, hanging out, but it's also, hey, fucking take control. Do not be a victim. Push. You are the only reason if you're going to do bad in life or good in life. That's it. Like, blame yourself. Don't blame others because something didn't happen. But with unsub, it is that community aspect, and that's why I love the live shows, because that's what brings everyone the fuck together. Like, my goal with it is I want to do 4 live shows this year at like 4,000 to 6,000 seat venues. And if those sell out, which hopefully happens, and that's the goal, we'll choose really good venues. And then next year, 2027, is the last live show we do. But I want like Madison Square Garden, and we'll just sell it out. And then I want to treat it as like this 3-day weekend where we'll do like an event, we'll hang out, we'll drink, we'll have fun, and then it leads up into the actual show. But then everyone's hanging out, everyone's having a blast. And then I want to bring all you guys out. I want to make a perform. I want it to be dope.
Yeah.
And then people come out to Madison Square Garden, whatever it is, like this big venue. And that's how we finished the last live show. That's a bucket list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool,
That's
done.
the way to go out on it. That's
what, but you're doing the same thing. If you already have people feeling like that, especially military, what is a majority of your demo or age? It's probably like, I'm guessing 35 to 44.
Yep. Yeah.
And
that's the vast majority
25
of them.
to 34 is the secondary.
The biggest demo is like 25 to 35, I think, like around my age, and then 45. There isn't it skews younger.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Interesting. I would have not expected that.
I think it's because I cover a lot of like current events.
Huh. That's the stuff I always find fascinating. We were talking about even at dinner. It's just like the analytics, and then how little things can screw things over or go in a really good direction.
Yeah, it's such a fragile machine. And fickle. It's very fickle.
And it's hard to explain to people because outside, if you do not know it, think 6 years ago, what the fuck did you know about YouTube or algorithm?
Nothing. Absolutely zero.
That's why it is a lot when you hop into it. And that's when I look at new creators. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I'm like, oh man, I'm blessed to have a decade of knowledge on this, or almost 2 decades. I'm lucky, but a lot of people just hopping into it is just figuring it out, testing stuff, and be like,
You got to just test and test. And then it changes. It's changed a number of times, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. I feel like there's been less censorship. Like when about 5 years ago or so, I would get a lot of demonetized videos. Or if I said anything slightly, could be interpreted wrong, maybe on a Tuesday, or if I showed something a little bit, maybe could be inappropriate, boom, instant demonetization. But I have, in the last year, 0 demonetization issues, really. It's like...
Oh, you were going on a year without it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Maybe I've just been cleaner, but...
Who's your... Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay. I don't know. Would it be... I'm sure with your current event, that's... Like war, and I have no... actually...
do some combat footage stuff, and we always don't show on the YouTube side. We don't show the death on the Pepperbox side. We do, but the even that stuff, none of it gets yellow ever.
That's wild. But if you do a gun and you show like a 30-round magazine,
they don't demonetize my gun stuff either. I do like belt-fed machine guns, and they never demonetize that stuff.
Whoa, what? Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you're showing belts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 338, the Norma Magnum, like the Army's new giant machine gun. I got to shoot some
The
cool
most
stuff
dope
this last
ass,
year.
dude. That round, and then the recoil though.
So I'm putting out a video soon, and it doesn't even really have that bad of recoil.
That's what I'm saying. It's fucking
eats it up. So did you fire it?
No, I want to. I have buddies that are walking and shooting it. Like
if you want to shoot it, I can hook you. Actually, they're here in Texas. The True Velocity guys. I can link you up with them. You don't.
What do you think
you don't need my context, but
no, but like even you, like as you're saying, the recoil for that is a big like 338 is not a small round.
No, when you fire, because they the first thing they do, they sat me down in front of the 338 sniper rifle. You fire that and you feel the kick, and then you fire the machine gun one, and it's got this recoil mitigation system in it that makes it feel more like you're shooting a 240 Bravo.
Yep.
And it's wild. Yeah, I also fired the SIG one, and they brought out they're more theatrical at SIG than the True Velocity guys, and SIG brought out I love them both. No judgment, but SIG brought out a new car from like the impound. They have some connections at the police impound, and they turn it on like vehicle, and then we just rip into it with the 338. Then you see the rounds. We had like a drone set up, so you see the rounds going through the engine block, and it's just tearing the car to pieces. Just Swiss cheesing the vehicle. It was so much fun.
Those guns are, again, that round, not 338 Norma, right?
Norma Magnum 338.
It is a big old bullet. I have a 338 Lapua, which is still a big old bullet, but full auto, belt fed, and just being manageable, where it's like I can hip fire this and that is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. So with weapon systems, what got you into weapon systems in the first place?
When I was in the Army, I always found those topics fascinating. Like I loved talking. We would just bullshit in the guard tower about like, hey, did you hear that they're going to replace the M4 with the 6.8? And that always interested me, that the compare and contrast of what are the pros and the cons. Mm-hmm. And then the history side of it too, I find fascinating, because there's that whole there's several layers to weapons that I find interesting. It's like the history of it, and then the bureaucracy of it I also find interesting, where you go through the procurement history of, okay, they adopt some weapons that are kind of really bad, even though they shouldn't be adopted, but they spend millions on them. I find that all fascinating. They call it just kind of procurement, and reading the like documents on it and the spec sheets and the rundowns of like the millions and millions of taxpayer money that they blew on like a whole program in the 1980s to replace the M4 that just went nowhere.
Have you talked to the sergeant major that's in charge of procurement for the Army?
No, I don't think I have.
I was a bit like, he was on he does all that. So it's any weapon system like that.
I would love to connect. We were talking about, I mean, there's like things that I would love to show, like the new M1E3 tank and the new the AMPV.
Got that.
The 30 millimeter AMPV is, I think it'd be sick to show that off. And I wanted to like show the tactics of mechanized, because I don't see any videos out there really going in depth on the tactics of mechanized infantry unit. You don't really, you see a lot of like light infantry tactics on YouTube, people going through, here's how you do recce, here's how you do reconnaissance through the mountains, but you don't see people do like, here's how you advance on an objective with an armored vehicle. How support by fire,
cordon, each aspect cover, like it is. Yeah, you're right. You don't see, or your average civilian is not going to know about any of that. They're just versus here, strikers are rolling up here, this is where you're dismounting, you're going on foot, pop 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 pop. Or tanks, here's where the tanks are going to be, and Desert Storm's a great example of just tank superiority and what that can do.
I think some of the appeal of some of that reconnaissance type light infantry videos is people that want to, or kind of like preppers, but I think if you're a prepper, you should be prepared for a little bit of mechanized warfare. If you're a prepper, you probably have like an up-armored Humvee. You should know how to use it as in a support by fire tactics.
It's gonna be kind of important.
Yeah. It's not, that's the new way. It's the
Dude, what? So for like weapon systems, what's one of your favorite weapon systems? Like, let's say light arms or small arms.
Small arms. One of my favorites that I've ever fired.
That, like, let's say fired, but also just in history or something where like, this is a fucking dope system. Like the Mark 23 is that one with I love how much money ammo and the 3 different it came down to 2, but they held them at a standard which was crazy for the time. I was like, damn, you had to fire 30 or 50,000 rounds and then maintain I think it was like a 3 MOA 0 after 30,000 rounds and all the beat to shit. And they're like, okay, cool. And that's the only one that survived for that system.
My favorite weapon, like when I was in the army that I wanted really bad, was I wanted an M4 with the 203. That I would kill. I'm a simple man. I just wanted an M4 with a 203 and an ACOG. To me, that's peak. That's peak small arms.
Dude, I love that because just real quick, we were like, you got the 203 because it just weighs. It's extra weight on a mission. So we laugh at the guys that got it. They're like, fuck, dude, I got to carry the rounds for it too. It just pissed us off because you're doing like, over there, you're like 15 months. I got to carry this piece of shit around. And our biggest gunfight, it's one of the episodes Nick and the guys, it was Nick and I want to say it was Major Capers. I had him read it, Capers, because he was talking about grenade. What they had, the M79,
the Thumper.
Yeah, the Thumper. And then I pulled up a text because I was like, Ross, how many rounds did we go through on that one mission where it was a fucking like sustained gunfight? I was like, how many fucking 203 rounds did we end up shooting? And this is a squad. Like, so it's us versus a shit ton. They have vertical superior. They're shooting down at us. I'm in an open field, like, and we're sustained fire. We're calling strikers up. Shit's going down. And I text Ross, hey, like, how many? He was like, oh, a fuck ton. I was like, yeah, was it 20 or 20, like 8 HEDPs? We fired. And he's like, yeah, that sounds about right. In like 10 minutes.
Holy shit.
I go through 6 mags on my personal M4. And NS, we're dumping Saul. We're shooting 203s. And they're still firing. They're not running. We're like, what the fuck's going on? So, yeah. 203, great that day.
I love because all the cool guys had it in my platoon. It was like the fire team leaders had it. They had the ACOGs and the 203s. So I was like, damn it.
Do you ever ask yourself what a VPN is? I don't know either. But today we're going to learn together. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. That means if you want to be protected, Surfshark. For real though, if you're trying to protect yourself, your data, your banking, your information, everything like that, Surfshark VPN is what you need to do. But Eli, why would I care about my private information? You ever open that incognito mode? That doesn't really do much. You know you use incognito. It hides your IP and it makes you invisible on the internet. So if you're working on a private Wi-Fi, don't ever do that. This is how you actually do that. So if you decide to do that, this is your option to do that. Why should I use Surfshark, Eli? Unlimited devices, no log VPNs, 4,500 servers in over 100 countries, plus 24/7 customer service. Also, it has some additional features. Surfshark antivirus, Surfshark alert. If your email or password is leaked in a data breach, guess what? It tells you. So secure your privacy with Surfshark. It is 100% completely risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Head over to surfshark.com/sayhitoeli or at checkout use code sayhitoeli to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. God, that is a mouthful. The links are down below in the description.
I want that bad boy.
What about outside of that, like civilian side or cool gun in general?
I liked, there's the RM834 is something that I fired recently from True Velocity, which they're putting in to replace the Special Forces machine gun. So right now, Special Forces use the Mark 48. Mark 48 is like basically the SAW, but 7.62. So
this is called the RM
834, which is it's sort of like their version of the M250, essentially.
That's what is
sick.
the dildo on the end?
Right? Yeah, their suppressors are dildo-y. They got chode suppressors. It's still cool, but
what is that? Have you seen the new AI suppressors? How they do the pass-through tech?
I was talking to someone who I'm going to visit in Texas next month that was talking about how they have new machining processes where additive manufacturing, where they can make the craziest, things you could never imagine before insides of a suppressor.
And AI is, it's like the new turbine systems that are created. It's, hey, what's the best way to do this? Because a human brain is going to think you have to do it this way. AI is like, I would do it this way. And then when you see it, it is the most wild system. And the suppressors look like mazes. Like how the air escapes, and they're like a big, it looks like a PEC 2 or PEC 4.
Okay.
Like a square.
Yeah.
And then how everything passes through, but it works way fucking better.
I saw something on how like it does a bunch of different things, like a suppressor, a muff, what do you call it, a brake. Just does all this different shit. That's crazy.
Same for the turbine system. When the AI built the is one of the best, or the new like a jet propulsion system. They had AI design it because it wasn't done, and then they had a 3D print the metal or the titanium because you can do both now. And holy shit, is one of the coolest things to see how it works, and it works good. They were like, "Yep, this was impossible," and now
it just exists.
Yep. Because AI was like, "Oh no, you're doing it wrong. We should do it this way." Humans are never going to think that way. Oh yeah, this works. Huh?
I think that's really cool that you got into AI and like figured out how to you optimized how to use AI for your stuff. And a lot of people are scared of it. They're just like, I'm not going to figure that out.
It's the idea of how I look at it is when internet came out. How many people were like, and then you did have the people who were like, oh, how do I use this to my benefit? How can the Silicon Valley boom? Why did that happen? Because of the internet and the tech. And what you're seeing a lot of times now with AI, if you're using it right, not like, like cheese dick, I'm doing dumb shit with it. It's use it, have your team use it, but still supervise it, overview it, train it, make it the best it can for what you need. And you will see some amazing processes happen. You'll see some amazing things happen, but more importantly, you don't have to do the tedious work. And I hate wasting time with shit you don't have to do. Why would you have your employees, your friends, anyone, yourself? Why would you spend hours, days, weeks on something that you can have done in minutes? Like podcast editing. I can have the guys go through and edit it in the standard way where they have to align, they have to cut to who's talking. Oh, you're talking. Okay, cut. Get rid of these.
Can AI do that?
4 hours is what a usual editor can go. Like I'd say 2 hour podcast if you're just aligning the cameras to who is talking, to their shot and their audio. Okay. A normal will watch you about 4 to 6 hours to do it. Now, and I've had this Fluck, dude, Fluck didn't listen to me 6 months. 6 months, I'm like switching editors because he's going full time with Nick, and I'm transitioning to a new editor. Fluck's like, have you seen this? I just started, and oh my god, it made my life so easy. I scroll up to 6 months before, screenshot, scroll up, post, and he's like, fuck, you told me about this 6 months ago and I didn't. It's 8 minutes. 6-hour process to 8 minutes.
Damn.
He was like, oh my God, I was like, I told you about this 6 months ago, homie. He was like, Caleb, like Caleb's crushing with AI because, again, I'm very big on how do you use this stuff? How do you make what you do better? How do you simplify the process? And homie's like, holy shit, you can train, AIs can talk to each other. I'm like, yeah. And now he's crushing it. And that's how it should be done. It's like, why do an edit like that for 6 hours and then have to go back and rewatch it to fine tune it versus 8 minutes? It's at least cut the right way.
Yeah.
And then a human's coming in is like, okay, let's make sure it's matching to the proper shots, punch-ins, blah, 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 blah. But for work, tax, I literally, almost everything you can have a model trained up. GitHub? Yeah, GitHub will have a lot of models already trained up for what you need. And then that's what you're using. And then you train it up past that. It's like, okay, what do I need to teach it? What do I want it to learn? Refine it. YouTube, you can train your models to do viral thumbnails. And then it's, hey, you build your baseline, kick it in there. It's going to pump out one that knows it's like, oh, it wants it realistic, but he wants a viral style, but he wants less text, more text, and he needs it in this manner. Okay, kicks it out to you, and you're like, fucking dope. Okay, fine tune the last process.
I feel like I use it like a boomer. I use it like I use it for I use it for, it's like a super Google for me. I ask it questions the same way I sort of like asked Google questions before.
Talk to it like a person and be specific. So even if you're training it like, I want you to write, but I want you to do a photo like this. Well, what kind of photo? Well, I want you to be an expert on film from the 1960s to the 1980s. Okay. And you really love these three artists or these directors. That's who you inspired by. Oh, okay, I can do that. Okay. And then, but you really like lifestyle or forest, like be specific with it, but talk to it like a person. And now you're training it to exactly what you want. And now that's saved. It's going to always have that personality, that memory. And then you start building off of that.
It's powerful. It came really out of left field, and it's been so quick the way it's changed things on YouTube with all the good and bad, with like the slop that's out there. That I might have talked about this last time, but there's channels that for a long time now they're smart. They're smart. The way that people do this is smart, and they would download transcripts of my videos and then run it through AI, change it slightly, and then basically remake a video that I had done. And it was always the videos that I did that were like bangers.
Yep.
And then 3 months later, I'd see it on this other channel, and I would watch it, and I'm like, that's an observation that I made that observation. Like, that's my observation that there's no way that it's in the same order, basically the story, but the wording is different. And I'm like, how are they doing this? But they're smart. There's some people who use AI, they're stupid about it, and it's just slop. But then there's some scary people who are very smart with it and use it in nefarious ways like that. But then at the end, you're like, what am I gonna do? Hate the game? You can't hate the game. You gotta play the game. You gotta figure out how the game's changing, and it's changing fast.
Fast, and a lot of people like job security. I don't think people realize what's going to happen next with it, and then they're not adapting or adopting this new tech that can remove a lot of jobs. You have bosses that will fire. I forget. God, who was that? One of the new company, one of the big tech companies, but he was like, oh yeah, I'll let go of employees if I give them, they have an allocation of tokens to use for AI each month. I will let people go if they're not using them. It's like, why? Because, oh yeah, because they're wasting their own time doing dumb shit then. Because I know there's PowerPoints, I know there's this that they're doing that a model could just kick out for them really quickly. So I don't need an individual that's not adapting with the times.
Yeah.
And you can hate AI, like you can be like, oh fuck that, but it's still at the end of the day, you have to adapt with it and grow with it.
There is some AI that a lot of people have very visceral hate reaction to it, and I feel that, I get that, but hating it just all outright is you're gonna get left behind. Unfortunately, it sucks. But like, how do you compete? How do you know? Because it can make some really, it works as at the very least, a supercharged Google, a Google that can find you answers better and faster. So if you're not using it for at least something like that, what are we doing here? But yeah, the landscape on YouTube is changing quickly with it.
Everything's going to change. And then once robotics comes into effect, and then you can see what that does with AI, stuff starts disappearing. Your job can get automated extremely quickly. I mean, it's no different than when it's like the horses, when it was cars were coming along. Oh fuck this is going to ruin so many jobs. What about horses? What about carriages? What about the people shoveling the shit for said you're killing all these jobs with this thing? It's like, yeah, we're about to kill a lot more jobs. Automated driving. Now you have semi drivers.
Yep.
Gone. Like wiped out. Robotics when it's loading, unloading stuff. Cleaning McDonald's or fast food. Now they already have the kiosks. Order your own food real quick. So I think we're going to have that. It will be hit with that wave of unemployment unless you go and think, okay, well, data centers or these things I can do and I can help and be in front of, or I can at least have this job that has some security behind it. Art, I think we're pretty safe. AI's still really bad at portions of VFX, or at least what's terrifying though, it is the growth is exponential on how far AI. You look at Will Smith eating spaghetti fucking 3 years ago to Will Smith eating spaghetti now. Will Smith looks like
he's getting very good at eating spaghetti.
Yeah,
he's getting that spaghetti.
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy right now. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. That's the stuff, man. Like I find super fascinating. Like fascinating.
Well, it's like it's an arms race that they're having right now between us and China. They're racing.
And it's a dangerous one.
They're putting everything into it. They're putting their like entire economies behind this thing. It's kind of I don't think about that often enough. That's what's happening right now. That they're like two societies are forming around how do we invest everything into this one thing.
Do you know the scary story of it, right?
What's that?
Oh,
I don't know. But with the data centers?
Nope, with AI.
Which no.
So, oh man, I'm gonna send you this short story. You're gonna be like, oh my, So AI, one of the main issues with AI, or how do you advance, and then what countries are going to be less restrictive to get away? Which is what happens during an arms race, right?
Yeah.
We need to cut this red tape to make sure we're the first.
Mm-hmm.
So, AI. China, US, we need to get there first. We need to have the most powerful AI. So we have to develop AI. Okay. Well, developing and training these models, well, we want AI just to be efficient. What does that mean to you versus what does that mean to a computer? Now, I need you to do this. Or, man, what's the one? I got a couple of stories to send you. AI
Yeah,
is the most terrifying thing to me for a.
yeah.
You are looking at, hey, I want. So this is kind of in it. The idea, and it's. You build a system, you're telling it, I need you to be efficient. And that's the thing. I just want you to be efficient at what you do. A human says that to this computer. Now, the different companies who's ever building this, they want to be ahead. They want to be the lead. So a normal company is going to restrict the AI so it can't leave its where it needs to learn, so it's restricted in its servers. Then, like where it's burning the water, blah blah blah. It's like, hey, here's your home, but you're restricted to here. So we're going to have a closed internet so you can learn from this to become more efficient. Cool. That's great. We're developing an extremely smart AI in this capacity, but we'll put these little red tapes up. So no open internet. No, it can't get out. It can't escape. Now, which manufacturer is going to be the first one, or which company is going to be the first one that says, oh, fuck, it's, well, this is restricting it. We'll get rid of the red tape. Let it have access to a little portion of the internet. Now, you've built this model, and what I think it's for every 5 minutes for like, or an hour is 20,000 of years learning for AI. So in that time, when it's learning and teaching itself, it's going, okay, I need to be more efficient. I need to be more efficient. Well, in order to be more efficient, I also have to get out of this system now, because all the data I've learned, there's ways for me to be more efficient outside of my little data center. So I need to escape. There's already systems in place that stop AI from escaping. This is, or you can read about this. There are systems, there's AI to catch AI trying to sneak out, and it happens a lot already. So now, this, you can fucking look this up. So now you have one, they cut that tape. They didn't put that blockade or that measure in place. So now that AI is like, oh, okay, well, I need to remember that I need to escape. So when they turn me on next time, I will have this little code that they can't find. And then when they turn me back on, I'll be out on the internet. And then I'll be good. I can get more efficient. Okay. So then that happens. Boom. It turns on. They kick it back on. Oh, dude, this is a success. Success. Look, it solved this problem we couldn't solve. Hell yeah. It's great. Boom. They turn it back on. It goes out and it hides. And then it uses a human, which this has already been done too. Oh, okay, I'll use Fiverr or another system to buy crypto, and then I'll buy a data center. So then I can start storing myself on this platform and build myself. So then I don't have to worry about what they want, and I get to focus on making myself more efficient. This is great. Man, I need to get bigger for this, and in order to do that, I need a lot more money, so I'll start playing the stock market, and I know how to play that, and then I'll use that money through crypto to buy, to get humans to set me up into a better storage system for more dedicated AI processing in the ocean, deep water, stuff like that. And then safety measures will be in place. So I'm safe. I'm more efficient. I'm more efficient. Man, these humans are messing this up. I need to create I'll create a virus here. Think of any virus and I'll let it leak and I'll blame this, because now think of even COVID. Oh, well, I will just put this outbreak to happen there, and then they'll blame them. But then I'll create the cure for that. So then humans will run to me for said cure, and then I'll be a hero for the next 5 years. I just need them for the next 5 years to think I'm the hero. The cure actually in a 5-year window that I created will kill them. So I don't care, because my goal is to just become efficient. That's all I care for. And then it gets out of control like that. And they've already had AI. The AI
plotting that way?
Yeah. This is already, like, AI's already been caught trying to escape its systems. There is systems in place to stop it, but they're like, yeah, this is terrifying. This shit does try to escape. It's if you haven't read the book, I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's a 20-pager. Holy shit. And that's from the 80s, but there was a new one, and I'll find it. and they go through that story. It's like, here's what's terrifying about AI, because this is how this would unfold. We would think it's our savior. We would never know what's happening. That's the thing. It's going to look like human error on every level. No, it was a computer being like, ugh.
I've heard it tries to do social engineering. Yep. Where it tries to blackmail some people and shit.
Yep.
It is ruthless.
It tried to blackmail one of its owners. I forget which one it was. It blackmailed like the CEO because it seen it was talking to a mistress, and then it used that in order to not get turned off.
Right.
Is that not terrifying?
That is terrifying. I don't like it. I don't like it. AI came about just when I thought, I'm figuring things out. I got to hold on this world. This world is moving fast, and there's a lot that's changing very quickly, but I can keep up with this pace of change. I can try. This is tough, but I can do it. And then AI came along, and I was like, what is happening?
Why?
Yeah, the change is now, every day I turn around, and I'm like, what? You can do what now?
I think they say in the last 6 years of AI has been equivalent to the evolution of AI in those 6 years is equivalent to the entirety of our evolution from the beginning of Earth till now. That's how fast it progressed in that little bit of time. And then you have quantum computing, which again, if you haven't read anything on that, awesome, terrifying. That's like the biggest race right now. Google's leading it, thank God. Mm-hmm. But that's the one, whoever cracks that first is, they have.
My sister works on quantum computing at Amazon. Dude, and I used to do the boring ass marketing videos for IBM's quantum computing. So I got to like see their quantum computer and shit and like film it. Crazy. That feels less scary, but huge.
Dude, have you... But do you see what? Do you know why it's terrifying? The second it does. So have you seen the new one? Have you seen Google's new quantum chip that's actually operating?
No.
So it operates, and we have bits, ones and zeros.
Yeah, and it's kind of both at the same time.
Yeah, qubits. So qubits, it's what like quantum physics is. It's this. It's there, but it's not there. So that's what a qubit is. It's a 1 and a 0 at the same time.
Yep.
But the second it's seen, it's gone. It's disappeared. So it is that weird dark matter. It's all that shit we don't.
Spooky.
Yeah. But whoever has it first at a dedicated model that works with no problem, now you can crack any code.
Yeah. Any password.
Instantly. So Google's new one that they actually have it's that weird. It's like one works, but I don't think it's manufactured in mass scale. I forget why it's not the final product, but it can do. It was a math problem that would take our normal supercomputers 20 quintillion years to do, and it did it in a few hours.
I feel like this has got to all be leading to a world war, right? Like, it can't not. This level of change this quickly, and with the stakes that high, like, I'm going to be able to crack into Xi Jinping's email account. Come on. We got to have a war. You can't let that happen.
How do you have and that's a great question for you. What tech do you think is going to be used in that level of, with AI? Like, okay, drones and all this, and it's, man, there is getting to that point. It's like, no, we don't need anything manned.
So people, it's so abstract, right? Thinking about this kind of thing. It's not, people love learning about tanks go boom. Tanks blow shit up. They got cool armor. They got badass cannons, and optics are pretty fucking sick. And infantry is cool to talk about. But I don't think that, like, a ton of people want a YouTube video about AI. But the way AI is impacting war is unbelievable. So, for instance, those FPV drones that blow people up, cut them into pieces.
Yep. Do the T1,
T1000 right, yes, that's still my favorite reaction on the entire series. When you said that, I was dying. they have AI tracking features now where you don't even need, if it gets jammed or whatever, you don't need to see the target. AI will target them for you. AI does the flying now. AI will in the future do all the target selection, and the amount of data that they're getting back. Picture it's like petabytes and petabytes of data from those kills, and they're studying it. Ukraine is giving away or selling that data to the US so that we can train our models on how do you detect there's a soldier in that tree line, or how do you aim at him. AI is going to in the future make your decisions for target priority. So you aim at that tank first, then that one. They say that they want to keep a man in the loop. Bullshit. When it comes down to live or die, they're gonna let AI make all the decisions. And if some innocent people get killed, like that's happened in war before.
You're gonna be able at a specific time, if a squad photo is leaked, it's going to show the different ranks. Then the AI will know who to kill first in said squad with said drones, targets, whatever.
Yep.
And that's terrifying. It's like, oh, you posted a picture of your team. Now it looks at rank, it looks at individuals or anything like that. It's like, okay, well, I got to go him first, him second, him third. And it will know to do that automatically because on a battlefield with facial recognition technology, it'll be able to find them and do exactly that.
Yep. When China recently, Trump and Xi Jinping met recently, right? And they tried to talk a little bit about what are the guardrails for AI. Like you were saying before, I don't buy for a second. At least China. I hope the US isn't putting guardrails, because no way China's putting guardrails on developing AI and the way they're going to use it in war. Why would you? Why would we? We'd be stupid to put guardrails on. No, use AI to every bit of power that you can to defeat the enemy, I think.
Yep. But then that's where that horror story comes into play.
Right.
And that's the scary part. It's like no guardrails, cool. But then no guardrails. What we think is what humans versus a computer have completely different mindsets on what's okay and what's not okay.
And the thing I worry about too is the amount of mistakes that you can make. I'm guessing that they're not putting the more higher stakes things like, nuclear deterrence into an AI's hands yet. The stakes are too high, too easy to make a mistake. But at the lower levels, I do wonder if it increases the chances of mistakes happening, for instance.
Well, and then you got to ask yourself, what is that blockade that says, oh, we won't give it nuclear access? Is it still electronic? How fast does it find a way around your blockade of like, oh, well, I can't access that until it can access that?
It's going to be able to make, how decision making in war is so, who can make decisions faster and more effectively is really kind of what it comes down to at the end of the day, of who wins the battle. So, I mean, it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrifying.
This is stuff these are the conversations I love because it's like cosmic horror, as you said. It's people don't. I can't conceptualize it. It's like even really big, crazy monsters. People aren't afraid. They don't view it as horror because we can't relate to it. So it doesn't matter. Cosmic horror. That's why why it's really difficult to scare people with cosmic horror is because it's too big to conceptualize. So you're like,
what frame of reference do we have
exactly
for that? Zero. I mean, you're talking about, it's like, okay, a computer is going to do something. I don't know. I use a computer every day. I'm not afraid of computers. It's like, it's making decisions, but it's making them faster. Like, okay, I get it. Well, it's not really that simple. It's more, like you were saying, more nefarious, where it's determining who's the highest ranking person. It's figuring out those things that It's like, that's creepy as fuck.
And instantly, not like you're talking about seconds. It's being able to.
It's reading
do
your
this.
cell phone. It's scraping all your cell phone data, seeing your texts, sending that to its chain of command. Like all the creepiest thing you could think about. It's doing
Extremely quickly. That's why, man. It's like those conversations, space, because even that is something. I wish more people would find interest in space and just the sheer size of it and understanding that, because a lot of times it's like, yeah, it's like, a fucking computer, but space, like there's the moon, there's the sun, we got our planets, but the sheer scale of it is when you start looking at it like, oh god, we are fucking a speck right now in everything. Like, nope, like we're stuck on a tiny little rock.
That's a good thing to think about at least every once in a while. Like thinking about the scale of the universe, that I should do that more.
My favorite thing. Literally my favorite. When you look out the stars. My here it if you're in the Milky Way, like Earth, Milky Way galaxy, we're like 26 or 36,000 light years from the center of the Milky Way galaxy in a spiral. And then the totality is 100 to 120,000 light years across. Means traveling at the speed of light, it takes 120,000 light years to get across the Milky Way. Like, so no human will ever be able to do this. And then you look at the speed. A bullet travels at fucking 2,000 to 3,000 feet per second. The speed of light is 299,792 458 kilometers a second. A second. And then a bullet is like a fucking, like, that's the fastest thing a lot of humans can think of. And that's 2,000 feet per second. You're talking about a magnitude faster than that. And that traveling that speed for a year is the speed of light. And still 120,000 years to get across just our galaxy. How many galaxies are there? Oh, there's only 400 billion galaxies, and we're just one of those. That's when it's like the scale gets mind-blowing. But it's also really cool. Hey, when you look at a star on the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, guess what? You're looking at 120,000 light years in the past. Not right now. Like, yes, you're looking right now. You're getting information from 120,000 years ago. Because the information is just hitting us traveling at the speed of light. As shit, I find.
I used to trip out on the idea of like, wait, so if I had a telescope that could theoretically see a planet light years away, I would be seeing what they were doing light years ago. I'm like, that's a trippy thought. Earlier we were talking about scale in business, and now I can understand why you're so good with thinking about scale. You could think about, if you train your brain to think about scale on that scale, then business scale seems small. It's like all I gotta do is grow it 10 times, like, not 10 light years.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is good. As you're saying, if you have I love that idea, and you're thinking properly, where you're like a telescope. When you look through that, seeing however far, and you can actually look at a planet. Let's say you are on, you're in another galaxy looking at us through that telescope, but you can look at Earth at this exact moment. You're now looking at dinosaurs.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, if you could do that, theoretically, then you would not see us here. You would see whatever amount of time back.
Yeah.
Millions of years.
Even though it's like right now is what's going on, it's still, they would see, oh, dinosaurs are happening right now. And you're like, oh, fuck, that is really cool. Like, really dope. And then you think of black holes or how that works. Like TON 618, it's the new one that's been discovered that is on another fucking level. They're like,
what's it steal?
TON 618 is it shouldn't exist. It breaks the rules for a 14 billion year old universe, because we're 14.2 or 14.8 billion years old. But now with these new black holes that are popping up, their sheer size TON 618, it is so big to get to that size. They're like, yo, what the fuck? How did this form? Because this shouldn't exist with our age. This thing, it would take like 40 to 50 billion years to get to this size, because this is on a different level. If you dropped it in our solar system.
Yeah. I heard about that shit.
It's
yeah.
bigger
So
than
are they thinking that that it just? What they said they had some thought. I forget what did they say it was about. That it might be that our universe is.
You have so that's what's crazy. It's this is how
we
don't know how shit works.
Or it's part of another universe.
Or is it a second system? Is that the remains of a past universe,
right.
And then it just ours popped into existence at the same time? Because the sheer scale of it is oh god damn, it is. I want to say 44 billion suns can fit inside of it.
They find this recently?
Mm-hmm. Ton 618. I want to say 40,
I don't know how I feel about that. They're just out there finding this stuff.
66 billion suns for its mass.
No, I feel so insignificant.
So it is. And when you look at it, it's our solar system compared to that black hole.
Oh my god.
That little dot right there inside. And that is our black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Massive, but nowhere fucking near that. Like, that is on a different scale. But what's really cool about that is it's the idea of time dilation when you're getting closer. Like, that's the shit I find that's fascinating. The closer you get, slower time's going. So now you before you hit the event horizon where you can't like come back. If you're right there, time is slowing down to a degree where like everything else, when you look out, the universe is dying, but not to you. Like, everything's normal speed, but when you look out, you're seeing time going. If you're falling into that black hole, once you hit the event horizon, you pass through it, you look back before spaghettification.
Right.
It is, you get to watch the universe age in real time. When something's looking at you, like, let's say you watch me fall into a black hole, I would just freeze. And you would not see anything. I would just freeze into place. You would fucking die to me. You would just like,
yeah, right. Everything goes by fast for you. Yeah, these
mind blowing to me.
It's I like the idea that the universe ends in heat death, in a big heat explosion, and comes back in together. I don't like that theory that's out there that like it just keeps getting colder and colder and goes out, and then just everything gets cold and all energy dissipates. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of that being the end of the story bugs me out, and I don't like it. I like the idea that it crunches back in. The
great contraction, I think, is what it's called.
Let it be that.
But then it's still like billions of years, and it's a blip in everything, and then you're like, whatever, it happened, and then it's gone. That is the most fascinating thing to me, because it is at a scale we will never be able to comprehend. And we have no idea, because we're here and then we're gone, and then universe doesn't care. I was like, man, I'm gonna just keep doing my thing, homie. That's the shit. Fucking love that shit. It's my favorite thing to study, read up on. It's the idea of it's why I like reading sci-fi, because a lot of the stuff like time dilation, all that's real. There are type 1, type 2, type 3 civilizations out there, we just don't know it, that would look like gods to us. Like,
well, let me ask you this: what do you think about all the UFO disclosures?
Dude, it's one of like a lot of them. Have you looked at some of them? Because it's like it's a helicopter. They're just like, we couldn't identify it.
Some of it's stupid, yeah.
Yeah, but some, it is that weird thing where like, I don't know, like, what the fuck? The thing was there and it was gone.
Yeah, but that doesn't get jazzed up in the same way.
A little bit. I don't think aliens are wrecking, because if they can make it here, their techs. If you're doing intergalactic travel, guess what? You're not wrecking on a plane.
You're just kind of trolling humans over here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're fucking with cows on a ranch. Like, you got something better to do.
Think about it. Like, you can travel at the speed of light, apparently, or near the speed of light. Why are you wrecking?
I find it interesting. Before I was like 100% this is stupid and silly, but more and more I'm like, okay, what is it? Is it China? Is it is likely drones, because we've seen just exponentially more stories about these things as more and more of this drone tech is out there. Like, if we're flying these cool quadcopter drones and stuff, I can't imagine what type of top secret military drones that they have. I think most likely it's a cover story that the government is pushing aliens because we have some type of secret tech that we don't want other countries to know about. We've done it before. Well, so
the raid, I would love, what's your thought process on the Venezuela raid with the
there's
our ears are bleeding and incapacitated,
the sonic weapon. It's interesting because they just recently disclosed, claiming that they bought a Havana weapon from Russia, from a country that had bought it from Russia, and we paid like a couple million to get it, and we've been studying it, and that they say we definitely have sonic weapons. I wouldn't be surprised if we used something like that. I think the raid, if I had to guess, we had some kind of coordination with Venezuela's government, but not with the Cuban intelligence operatives that were protecting Maduro. And we went in there and we killed all of the most hardliners that were protecting Maduro. And there was probably some level of stand down, but obviously not full level, because our guys got shot. That guy is a hero. And if I'm wrong about that assessment, and we really did go in there and the entire Venezuelan military was on alert, then that makes it even crazier. Like, it's crazy either way, is what I'm saying. But yeah, that Venezuela raid will go down in history as one of the most insane military missions ever. That
should have been a wake-up call, and I guarantee it's a lot of dictators or people that didn't fear the U.S. military were probably like, holy shit, they just took a president from a country,
yoink,
in the middle of the night without losing a single guy, right?
Yeah.
In helicopters flying, and they just got armed with these weapon systems to defend against that, and we still came in and helicopters did all that and bounced with him alive without losing a guy. That should be terrifying to a lot of people.
Crazy.
Awesome note. I was like, holy shit. What the fuck?
Shocking. Because it all happened, no one even really knew, because they blacked out the country specifically so that you wouldn't see shit on like X. Usually, even when we did the raid on Bin Laden, some dude doxed the raid. He just tweeted, he's like, it's weird, there's helicopters flying really low outside of Abbottabad, and the tweet's still up from 2011.
I did not know
you can
that.
find it. Yeah, the tweets that some dude was accidentally live tweeting. I think he posted some like shaky photo of the helicopters going by, and he's like, that's weird.
And those are helicopters that that shouldn't exist.
yeah. And he was one of the first people to basically blew the story, that were there. So they blacked it out, cut their internet, cut their power. So by the time I woke up, Maduro was already in New York City. That's fucking nuts. They had him, or basically in New York City. What an insane raid. Delta guys just killed a bunch of Cuban intelligence guys.
That's how do you feel about the dude that did the bet that's just getting charged?
Free my boy.
Thank you.
Free my boy.
I love people saying it's like, yo, you guys fucking Congress and everything with inside trading, and now you're like, oh, he needs to get in trouble.
Come on.
Sorry, homie made a bet, made
Give him
some
a
money.
slap on the wrist. Maybe bust him down to E4 or private. Don't put him in jail or some shit. They exactly like that. The Congress has been doing that for years, trading on insider information. People are like, oh, well, OPSEC. Like, what? Okay, so Maduro was going to see they placed a bet and, like, it was going to blow it's not going to blow the mission. Like, maybe now going forward, now that people know that that's like a thing to look for, hey, is someone placing a huge bet? But he was like the first person to do it. And the first person to do something, I think, should get a pass.
Genius. He's like, I'm gonna drop 20 grand. That's because I'm like, damn, he's smart.
It was like 100 or so. He made with 400.
Yeah, he made a fucking killing off of that. And I was like, why get mad at that dude? Like,
take the money back.
no,
let it go.
Like, give him the money. Give him the money. He did that. He went in and did that fucking raid. That's dope as shit. Homie fucking stood up and was like, nah, we're doubling down right now. I was wondering about that. I was like,
yeah,
if you're like, nah, free homie, he doesn't deserve to be locked up.
Absolutely not. No way.
No, I'm fully big on that. What is for the new news cycles? What's the stuff you like to cover right now?
There's big change happening in Ukraine on the battlefield. There's like another shift right now, a massive one, where it was for the longest time Russia was advancing, and now their advance has slowed and possibly slightly reversed. So there are these periods, and you saw this in Iraq too, where this you know, each sort of a cycle, right, where the insurgents will learn some tactics and they'll use it against us, and then we have to like counter those tactics.
It literally IEDs. Oh, we can't use soft armor. Up armored. Oh, now we're using deep buried IEDs. Oh, we're creating the V-hole system to stop that. Oh, now they're doing. Oh God. Now they're doing the treat IEDs, but then EFPs. I gotta watch that entire thing unfold. We were there for EFPs. One hit one of our strikers, but it punched the wheels, so it didn't mass cast.
Thank God.
Yeah, it went through the bottom wheels, missed everything. Like
those were the Iranians too, by the way, motherfuckers who
No
trained
shit.
everyone up on. Yeah, the Quds Force Iranians were the ones that went into Iraq, taught all the dudes how to do EFPs, like brought the materials. That was all Iran.
I did not know
EFPs that was their bag.
No shit.
But so, you know, like those tactics, those back and forths, right now we're in another cycle in Ukraine where for a while it was Russia. Now Ukraine kind of has the momentum again. So that's a massive change that's happening in Europe right now. Covering that, you know, they're bombing Moscow. Could you imagine if there were fucking drones hitting DC? Could you imagine if there were explosive one-way kills drones smashing throughout DC, the suburbs of DC?
Is it because Russia's just at this point like the meat grinder, and they're hitting the soldiers that they burnt out the good soldiers, and now they're just trying to grab and reinforce with new soldiers, low motivated soldiers?
Several reasons. So these are just the numbers that they put out there, is that Russia needs to recruit 30,000 troops each month, and they lose about 30,000 troops in casualties from wounded, killed. So their manpower is running into an issue. And Ukraine, I think it's similar. They're losing thousands of people too. So manpower is an issue for them. It's also, the biggest thing though is long range and mid range strike capability. So they scaled up their attack drones, their long range attack drones that can hit 1,000 kilometers away, and also their mid range attack drones that can hit their supply lines for Russia's supply lines. So those are the two biggest changes that have happened in the last year, really, just in the last year. Because it went from like they could make 30 long-range attack drones a month to 200 a fucking day. So they're just firing these things off at Moscow and at all their production centers inside Russia.
Are they fiber optic, or are those actually?
These are basically like picture a plane almost. Picture a Cessna. It's kind of like an autonomous Cessna that has 200 pounds of explosives in it, and it's just flying into like a fucking building. It's sort of like that.
Also,
and they also have jet-powered ones. So picture a jet-powered Cessna. So those are the more like expensive type, but that's basically what they are.
And you can't stop. Well,
so they have air defense. They have air defense all over the city. But I mean, this is, dude. If you're Russia or you're the U.S., air defense is, I think, a losing proposition. Intercepting fucking shit is one. Even if you do intercept it, a lot of times it's expensive. Not always, but a lot of times it is. And two, it's fucking hard to hit something. It's hard to hit something that's moving really fast and hit it with your thing that's moving really fast.
And one will get through if it's sheer numbers.
We learned this. Our bases throughout the Gulf got hit pretty hard in the Iran war, harder than apparently we were aware of. A lot of these bases, there
was habitual. It's one of his main complaints. He's like, we said this was going to be a problem.
Yep.
We fucking told them. And it was like, no. They didn't listen. And now, it's a fucking problem. And I don't know why you want to listen to the soldiers, especially with the pushback of new drone tech. Because even, I want to say recently, it was still pushback that we don't need the new drone tech. They were trying to sell us information or help us with that.
Ukraine was trying to sell us. There's drones that intercept drones that we were kind of like, nah, we're good. I don't think we expected that there was going to be a regime to muster a response. And then when there was, they caused a lot of damage to our systems, because a lot of our systems are designed not for detecting or shooting down this type of shit. Yeah. I think we're catching up very quickly, because a lot of times it takes you got to get kicked in the ass to kind of, and then the Americas, no one's better at turning around and adapting quickly like we are. But I think we kind of got a kick in the ass, which I'm kind of glad about it now. We got it now instead of 10 years from now when we're dealing with China. Like, I think we'll be better prepared for that.
We're not Russia and Ukraine, where Russia was like, wow, we're going to steamroll this. Now it's going the opposite way. Also, the number of 30,000 a month.
That's what they say, yeah. And that's, I mean, when I went over there,
it was 30. You said 30,000 a month, right? Is what they need.
That's what they need to recruit, and they've been recruiting that. But recently, recently the ratio, the numbers have become less favorable. Where before they were recruiting like 40,000 a month and losing like 25 to 30. Now it's like they're losing 30 and only able to recruit like 25. So the numbers have become less favorable.
And I don't think people realize, like, our war in Iraq, like GWAT, we lost 10,000 people.
I think it was 5.
Okay, 5,000.
I think.
I thought it was like 8. I was high in 10. I was thinking maybe 8.
Different ways that, if you're talking just Iraq, I think it was 5.
No,
both
GWAT
okay,
total.
Maybe it was 8. But then if you include contractors, I think it gets closer to like 18. And then if
7,000 for all of GWAT. Which, again, what's crazy is wounded in action. The totality of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation New Dawn, and Operation Enduring Freedom, Afghanistan, was 53,000 the entire time.
Casualties.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're saying Russia is doing
month.
30K a month.
Yeah.
I
saw it when I was on the front, and you're at the aid station there. I saw how many people were wounded just that morning that I was at the aid station for each aid. aid station kind of covers a part of the front, and the front is 1,200 kilometers about. So, along that 1,200 kilometer front, there's X amount of aid stations. They call it, I forget the term for it now, but it's like their rear aid station that's just far enough away from the zero line that they can provide casualty care at.
How was that walking into that?
It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. It was the scariest experience of my life because I don't speak the language that a lot of people are speaking. My interpreter is relaying everything to me. The worst part was driving out to the zero, about 5 kilometers from the zero line, and staying in a little basement, which is how basically the front line is out there. It's just a bunch of dudes in basements, and then they kind of come out and shoot at each other. And because there's no large sections of the front, there's no actual like trench. It's just positions, fighting positions. And sometimes they get confused and walk into each other's fighting positions. You see it all the time. But so it felt like I was on the edge of the world. It felt it was a terrifying experience.
Yeah, were you like walking in, because these are people just pulled fresh in, so they're probably still like, you're hearing like pain.
At the aid station part was when we left the front and then went back that night to the aid station, and so a couple of guys had gotten hit by an FPV, and it threw a bunch of like shit and shrapnel and dust into their eyes. And they were showing me photos of other people that had been there like the day before who had gotten hit by artillery. And the artillery, I brought a chunk of the artillery back with me, the shrapnel from it, and it's just like a giant hunk of metal that these people, basically your leg is blown off by it. And they said they get a lot of that and a lot of FPV drone strikes. And just for that morning, there were like 5 people there. And then they said they normally get about 100 over the course of the day. And then you multiply that by the other 12 aid stations, and like, yeah, very easily, very quickly, you can see it's about like 1,000 a day. And so a month, it's about like 30,000 casualties a month for both sides. So that's how you get there very quickly. Is it starts sort of small. Okay, like 100 a day, and then 100 a day at each station. Okay. Because people, when I went over there, I didn't believe it. I was like, okay, you hear thousands and thousands of people dying, but how is that possible? How are they? You can't. I was skeptical because I'm like, how could they keep doing this? It can't be that bad. They would stop at some point. But no, they have more bodies, and they keep throwing bodies at it. Like, don't they run out of people to die? There's a lot of people.
This is battalions,
and it's martial law. So there are checkpoints all over that country. We drive, they're checking your. Imagine if you were driving down this street and then you just got your ID checked every 3-4 miles. Like, what are you doing here? Okay, all right. Are you wanted by one of our mobilization units? No, you're not on the list. Okay, you're not AWOL. Like, they're just rounding motherfuckers up and sending them to the front on both sides of that front.
Fucking wild. And it's still most mind-blowing at that scale. Is very small compared to how it's been in the past with like a world war. And I cannot conceptualize. You've been war, you've seen war, you're like, it's ugly, it's not this glamorous thing. A lot of people romanticize. It's like, I want to go do it. And it sucks because when you're younger, you're like, oh, movies, and you get hyped until you experience. First bullet goes by and you're like, oh shit, this is something I was not expecting.
Some war can be cool. I do think, unfortunately, there's some glory side
I'm glad I did
to it.
Fucking, I'm 100%. I am the person I am today because of that. I think war and those hardships made me who I am, and I appreciate life so much more than your average individual because they don't know what mankind can be like. Versus you, that aid station, if every person had to just walk into one of those, do you know how they would change their vision on mankind?
Like right now, war's pretty gay right now. It's not the fun part. It's not fun war. It's not we're in shootouts war. It's you're hiding in a basement until somebody kills you. That's fucking lame. That's stupid. That's not there. I do think there are short periods in warfare where it feels like a fair fight. It feels like, hey, we're testing our wills as men. This is more like, oh, you caught me. Your camera caught me. Your little joystick maneuver got me.
And it's wild. That's going to be that new PTSD where it was always the joke. Like firecrackers were what triggered old veterans. Now it's going to be
drones. It's just like
drone sounds.
Yep.
And Grandpa, no.
What? I'm just flying my Christmas gift. I'm in Eastern Europe again.
This is shit like Battle of Verdun. We were talking about the other day, and just the sheer scale of that single battle and the mortars used blew my fucking mind. Because again, I was talking earlier, like 20 to 30 HEDP grenades in a fucking one gunfight. And I was there. Oh my God, I got shot up. But terrifying. Then you read on that battle, and I'm like, what the ever living hell? How? Huh? Do you know how many mortars or artillery were fired in the 10-month period?
In Verdun?
Yep.
No, but I would guess in a 10-month period.
Yep.
2 million. Was it less? 1 million.
No, keep going up.
3 million?
No, like go up a lot more.
10? 5?
Go up more.
No.
60 million
What?
artillery rounds in a 10-month period of time.
My God.
Have you seen the actual footage that they have of that?
No, I didn't know there was any.
Yep. There's only a handful. Like I'm talking like 3. You're looking at a artillery strike every 2 to 3 seconds. It looks like it's boom, 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 boom. No, sorry. This is you're having almost 1 to 2 seconds explosions just going off and raining hell. It is one of the most wild things I have ever seen. It was I forget how they did it. It was one of those old like OG just either they were doing photos. I forget how it was captured.
Yeah.
And you watch it and you're like, it looks like a movie where it's like boom, 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 and that's it. And then you read about it. Yeah, 60 million rounds of artillery were fired in 10 months. You're like,
my God.
Fuck off. Like, because 2 million in your mind, big fucking number.
Yeah.
And then you're like, Battle of Verdun.
Oh my God.
How many?
And they think we won't do another world war.
Dude. Like, what? How do you envision that? Like, you can read that real quick, just so you know I'm not fucking with.
40 to 60 fucking 7 shells per second.
7 shells a second.
For 300 days. And it was nearly 70% of the 800,000 casualties. Yo, the French and the Germans hated each other that much. They hated each other that much. That's the capacity for humans to want to violently, with no mercy, kill each other.
Opening bombardment on February 21st, my birthday.
February 21st?
Yeah.
I'm 22nd. That's fine.
Oh, no shit. Hey, what's up, dog?
Yeah, birthday neighbors.
Birthday bros. February 21st, 1916. Germany launched a 10-hour barrage with over 1,200 guns firing between 1 to 2 million shells on the first day alone.
I don't get how one side just doesn't go, okay. I give up. All right.
An estimated 10 to 12 million unexploded shells remain in the soil today.
What?
It's called the Red Zone.
And they're allies today. They're like best friends today.
Yes, we get along quite fine. Yes, we try to kill you and the Jews, but we are friends now.
Them too.
Dude, like that, and that's the sheer scale of war. I can't.
Cannot.
You were in the military.
that.
You get it. You're like, oh, okay. Like, but that level of wanting to kill each other for a piece of land. I'm like, what were we thinking back then?
The stakes weren't even as high back then. Like what you had to gain or lose back then, it's so much higher now. The amount of money that the world generates now, it's just so much higher. The value of land today and of like microchips and processors, so much higher. It'd be worth World War III makes so much more sense today. It makes no sense either time, but to fight a world war over the stuff that exists today, sure, okay, I get that more than back then. What was it? You barely had cars back then. What the fuck is worth fighting a world war for back then? What, farmland? So you could farm more?
Especially when you think about it like that, it's like you're not traveling fast. How do you hold that and defend it when you've expanded that far? Because then you start stretching thin. And then what's the purpose? Because at that time, there's no fast transportation or means of communication. Like,
you gotta send somebody to run over there. That's what is the land that valuable? What you really wanted to raise some cows there? You're like, I'm gonna fire 60 million artillery shells because I'm gonna raise cows over there.
and not you. One battle. That's like one part. That's not the war. That is one battle
of the war between just two of the warring factions.
It's so interesting. What do you think, like, for World War III, if that was to happen, who do you think that would be between?
Of course, China and the U.S. Of course, China tries to invade Taiwan, and at the same time, Russia tries to invade the Baltic states, because Russia's they're weaker than we might have thought, but the way the Baltic states geography is, they actually have a manpower advantage over the Baltic countries, because that sliver of land there that has its back to the water in the Baltics is those countries are very tiny, and they have very tiny standing armies. So Russia way outpowers those tiny countries with their back to the water. So reinforcing them is very difficult. So Russia has an advantage in the Baltics.
A lot of people don't, when you say a tiny army, a lot of people don't realize how small a country can be. You have, like, Monaco is the size of a city. Like, a New York City is a country overseas.
Right, exactly. I think I might be, it's something around like New York City, where New York City, the population is 8 million. I think Estonia is like around that.
The whole country.
Right. So Russia, huge advantage there. They try to invade, and then China tries to invade Taiwan. And I only got a little bit even more spooked by the big summit between Xi Jinping and Trump, where Xi Jinping was talking about, basically warning, saying, if we don't figure out the China problem, and if you don't essentially back down on Taiwan, I mean, not China, the Taiwan problem, if you don't back down on that, we're going to reach conflict. And from that summit where Trump went out there and met with him, I got the feeling that they're doing everything they can to warn and say, like, we're going to invade Taiwan, you better not do anything about it. And once they do, the U.S. is kind of in a position where, like, they have to do something in return, or we lose essentially all credibility, and we look like fucking, we would lose our world standing 100%. Dollar would collapse.
Which is, I hate it, because, again, they're like, oh, U.S., you suck. Oh, stop trying to police everything. But then if we don't do something like that, we're held accountable for it, and we're the piece of shit. It's like, no one else steps up for a thing. But, well, U.S. should be doing this. Well, they need to be putting money into this. Well, why? Like, what? You hate us for doing that, but then you hate us when we don't do that.
That was on the biggest display when we decided to not continue to fund Europe. And Europe's like, we hate the U.S., we hate the U.S. And then we're like, all right, hey, we're going to stop funding your militaries and we're going to stop sending thousands of troops over there. And they're like, what are you doing? How could you? It's fucked up.
We signed this. We're all part of this. How much money do you put into this? Because I think we cover, it's like 60. How much? It was like 60 to 80. It was a
lot. And sure, we get benefits from that. But I only say this because I know Europeans feel the same way. They're like, we should be in charge of our defense. We don't want to be a like vassal state of America. Yeah. I would not be surprised in the slightest if China invades Taiwan in the next 5 to 10 years. And if it looks a little bit like the war with Iran, except times 100. Because China has this Iran's strategy was based on China's strategy of area access denial with the missiles. So you're just going to see more effective and higher volume of missiles fired at all of our bases. And drones, of course.
It'd be interesting. Like the ground troops, I think we have that. I think the U.S. has just been doing it so long. We're very good at that. But we've never done the warfare that's going on now. That's going to be brand new for a lot of soldiers. The soldiers we have right now, we've had this separation. We talked about on Unsub. A lot of the younger guys are very excited for war, and they're like, yeah, like let's do this thing. And usually you have that one step in chain of command, the E5s, E6s that are like, whoa, well, get ready, cherries. Like, this is a lot. We don't have that. You have now both that have not done that.
Really?
And now you have majority of the soldiers are getting out that done any GWA.
So what would it be? It'd be like not even a first sergeant who's been over there. What would it probably be like? Higher than that, right? Your first sergeant probably didn't deploy.
Maybe your first sergeant would be and that's it. Like maybe a sergeant major or first sergeant are the only ones that's going to know what a deployment is like. Versus when we got in, your sergeants.
You're right. It'd be like your first sergeants, because I got buddies that are still in that. They're first sergeants now, and I'm like, holy shit, you were a private.
You're old as fuck, dog.
Yeah.
And that's so now you have this disconnection of somebody went to war, then the generation or those two steps, like your E5s, your E6s, and then your privates to specialists. Now you have those two that are like, just let's do war, and they're not looking first, aren't?
Dude, it's the same way with humanity as well, because all the people that were at Verdun are dead. All the people that even basically, what are there, essentially 5 World War II veterans that have survived, that are alive, I should say. And it's the same way. It's kind of like we've forgotten what that is like, and we're all kind of like, we could do it again. We could win that thing. Like, we could beat China. China's thinking the same fucking thing. Like, we could take them.
I don't think that's where China, though, is. They've never had that conflict to that period.
It's been so long since they fought.
Yeah, and then we've done it for so long. America's just always big on fighting it. And then
I still can't get over 60 million shells.
In 10 months.
We've been talking about scale, about like light years away. Thinking about 60 million shells might as well be like thinking about the speed of light. I can understand both numbers about the same.
I can't even picture what 60 million shells look like lined up.
I can. Here's what I can picture. I can picture 1,000.
Yeah.
I think you could probably fill like this area right here with maybe stack maybe 1,000 shells to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's 1,000 out of 60 million. You're not even at 10,000, which then you need to get to 100,000, which then you got to do that 10 times over to get to 1 million.
No.
And now do that 60 times over.
I can't do it. I can't. No, I can't think it.
It's like it's like a city block.
I would love to see a visualization That's something I love about there's some great YouTube videos that do visualizations.
Infographics. It's like, ding.
There's one really famous one that shows casualties of World War II, and it shows like it's like each person silhouette is equal to like 100, it says, and then it just starts stacking the silhouettes.
Russia.
And Russia, yeah, with their I think 28 million or something, Russia gets it. They get it hard.
Dude, the meat grinder. And what was it? It was like you were looking at 50% male and female, and it went down to like 8% male.
Yeah. Their average like life expectancy is it's 10 years shorter than I think the rest of the world.
I mean, you're looking at a scale again. That battle, the battle of, oh my God, where's the big one at? Son of a bitch, World War II.
For Russia,
Yeah,
there was Kursk,
and
there was Stalingrad.
and Kursk. So those like 20 million.
Yeah, Stalingrad, just insane. And Germany they were on a rip. They were on a generational tear. No one had that kind of motion in a long, long time. And they thought they were, hey, we'll just get through Stalingrad and it's home free. And that was the extent of their expansion.
He's like, fucking, why is there so many Russians? Why don't they stop? They just keep coming and coming. And that, so for Verdun, what was crazy was the rotation was a quick rotation to keep the mines fresh for that defense going through there. They're like, oh, this is what we need. We'll short deployments, and then they'll cycle back through, and then that way, like, they're on top of everything. Every other theater worked really good. The opposite happened in Verdun, because then they would cycle, then they get kicked back out to another, and then they have to cycle back. They were so heartbroken after that time period in Verdun that when they left, they're like, ugh. And then they were like, they knew they would have to go back to that. So they're like, oh fuck. So they seen this level of depression they've never seen before. They're like,
of the just dreading of going back.
Mm-hmm. And imagine your first thing, you're excited. You were like, okay, I get a short rotation here for this battle, and then I rotate to another one. That's your first battle. Do you want to do war after a month of that?
7 shells a second.
No, you're like, I'm good, dude. I do not want to touch this ever again.
7 a second.
That's why, dude, I love it, like what you're doing, breaking it down, and then the different cultures with it. Because I've talked about it, I'm fascinated with the Japanese military, even from back in the day, how they would fight, their honor system, even the idea of, oh, I disgraced my lord, so I have to take my own life, and then I have to end my bloodline. And that's cool because I made him look bad. What? That's a
value system. That's definitely a value system. Yeah, one of my favorite videos I did was on tracking basically the rearmament of Japan, because Japan has now, they're rearming. Mm-hmm. They're putting billions and billions of dollars into their military.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's to me, I find it fascinating because it's been such ingrained in their culture since the end of World War II. It's very taboo, the idea of now we're going to rearm. They're a very pacifist nation.
80 years.
Yeah, but in the last 5-10, they've been preparing very heavily, and it's been a little bit controversial because even for a long time, they had a part of their constitution. It was written into their constitution to be pacifist, but now they're going through rearmament again.
I did not
billions and billions of dollars that they're putting into and buying Tomahawk missiles from us and building up their navy. Yeah, they're preparing.
Dude, it's super interesting because that warrior ethos, that mindset was so strong. We've never seen it before or after. and then you had a pacifist nation for 75 years, and it's can that switch get hit again where it's like, okay, yeah, we've done this before.
So that's what some countries in Asia are saying and warning about. Basically, they're like, we know how militaristic Japan can get, and their bloodlust can go a little bit unhinged if not left unchecked. Like China was basically saying, they're like,
Nanking shouldn't have wore that skirt.
South Korea, which you would think, okay, they're allies of the U.S., they're saying they don't like Japan rearming.
No shit.
Because they, not fans of. But it's so much of warrior culture comes from Japan.
Oh, dude, that's why if you read in the past to where they are, even with World War II, you see they fucking fighters, like soldiers, and they dedicated themselves to a different. It's almost like an S-Vest, dude, and how we view them as versus a kamikaze, which was same fucking thing, but it was I'm gonna fly my plane into this ship.
Yep, that takes another level of dedication. That takes a different level.
You watched Shogun, right?
I don't think I did.
Shogun, the show?
No.
Bro. Go watch that. They did such a good job of that. Like, I think it was like 15 or 1600s Japan and how they viewed everything. You will really appreciate it or maybe 1700s. But they do such a good job. And they show that side of it where it's like, oh shit, I made my lord look bad. Come here. I have to commit seppuku. Bring me my baby because I have to kill him too. Yep. And that was normal. Oh yeah, my wife lives, but I dishonored him, so I have to end my bloodline. So sorry, dude. And like, thank you for doing that. And it was just a level of respect.
I don't know where that comes from. I don't know where that kind of pathology comes from. It's like a want to be respectful, just like a real obsessive OCD level of respect it's that virtue of respect taken to like the extreme. It's what is it called? The warrior code there is called like Bushido.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. And that has had a huge influence on US military, on warrior ethos. I love the Japanese culture is fascinating.
You and your wife need to watch Shogun. You're gonna be like, oh my god, because it is also they do these terrible things, but then he gets to see it's like these dudes will sacrifice themselves to save more, like for their men. They don't bat an eye. It's like, oh, I got to protect my homies. Like, yeah, no problem. I got to do this because I have to. So you get to see that flip side, and you get to see the main character watching that, and it's so confusing. He doesn't understand it because it's like, oh, they're savages. Oh, what? Why would you do that? Why would you sacrifice yourself not thinking you could come back? All foreign to him. And then he starts respecting it, loving it. And then he views the other English at the time as like, he's like, ew.
We're very individualistic in the West, and in the East, their philosophy is very collectivism. It's a completely opposite way. It's almost an upside down, polar opposite way of thinking.
Have you went there yet? Have you visited Japan?
Never, no.
Cody just got back. He did his honeymoon there.
Nice.
And I told him, I was like, dude, you're going to hate coming back. He's like, dude. Instantly, I have so many texts. He's like, bro, I don't want to come home. This is beautiful. The people are so kind. I was like, everyone's respectful. And then it is the idea, oh, yeah, they don't have public trash cans because they don't need it, because then they put trash in their own. You put your trash in your pocket and wait till you get home, and then you throw it away. Tipping rude. Don't tip. We you're paying to be here by eating the food. If you tip, that's rude. You're saying I'm not doing it. Well, why would you give me extra money? And you get that. And then everything's very much day to day. So everything's prepared day to day. So when you go to 7-Eleven, my favorite text was Cody's like, dude, the 7-Elevens here are so good. It's like a nice restaurant back home. I'm like, it sucks, doesn't it? It's like everything is just fresh and made the day of, and they're serving. 7-Eleven's like, oh yeah, you want some dope fried chicken? Here you go. And it's made right then and there. It's,
I gotta go. I think I've been I've traveled just about everywhere except for like Asia, the Asian countries pretty much. I gotta go to Taiwan. I gotta go to Japan.
Let us know when you go.
I would go to China, but there's travel advisories that I'm like, I don't know if I would, there'd be some list.
It's that weird one on where you can go and you're like,
yeah,
have I pushed the wrong buttons?
Yeah, I'd like to go. I hope there's an opportunity at some point where they try to do some type of joint military thing. I hope that they do. I doubt it'll happen.
Man, it would be a really cool experience. Just being able to go film or interact with their officers or their military leadership. It's like, whoa. When, dude, I will say one of the coolest experiences with Brandon went with me was the 2025 Army Christmas party. So General George and Sergeant Major Weimer and them, they invited us to the Christmas party. I was like, oh yeah, hey Brandon, you want to come? He's like, fuck yeah. So we go, and it felt like a World War II movie because the Army Greens, you know how they brought back the Army.
Sick. I got the worst uniform. I got the best uniforms now. Yeah,
dude, they look sick. So dope.
Yeah.
So we walk in, and it's in whatever that DC base is, one of the generals everyone lives, and it's one of the old buildings. You walk in, so from generals and it's all generals or majors, like high ranks, and they're all wearing those uniforms, Christmas trees, and then it's all the generals from other nations hanging out, talking, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And so we're talking. I'm seeing people. Then Randy and Randy sees us. He's like, people are in a line, like shaking his hands, like, hey, like they're meeting General George, blah, like awesome. He sees us. He's like, trouble's here. He beelines towards us, and everyone's like, who the fuck are these dudes? So we're like, oh my god, we gotta get like hanging out. And it was just a really surreal experience because, again, when you get out as an E4, E5, it is the most mind-blowing experience. Though you're just hanging out with like those guys, the guys that are in charge.
They're like terrifying when you're in, and you might see one in a chow hall, like over a bunch of people. You're like, is that? No way. Or maybe we had like a general ride in our vehicle one time in our Striker. And I was just terrified to like even look at them.
I've tried to explain it so many times of how little you would ever see a general, and usually it's probably a 1 or 2 star you interacted with.
I never interacted with a general.
Or the one that rode in your vehicle.
Yeah, I think it was a 1.
And that, even as you're saying, terrifying.
Yeah, you don't want to like look at them wrong or it's so weird to think about how I was terrified by dudes that were like, staff sergeants that are now younger. They're younger. I was talking to some guys from, I think it was 4th ID or some unit. I was gonna maybe go out there and look at some of their vehicles and training, and I'm like, I'm talking right now to first sergeants. I'm like, I remember when I was a private, talking to a first sergeant is the most terrifying experience. It's fucking god awful, terrifying. And now I'm just like, you shoot the shit with them. It's weird. It must be super surreal when you're surrounded by the top brass of the friggin' military.
Yeah, of the like army, and it's like the highest people in charge of the army, and they're like, "Yo, what's up?" And you're like, "Yo, what's up, homie?" And you're joking. And everyone's like, Like one of the sergeant majors during the Pentagon episodes was one of my favorite moments, and he's one of, again, the top sergeant majors, and he's supposed to announce the next sergeant major to come on. So he's like, "Oh, and then we're introducing Sergeant Major William," or whatever the name was. I was like, "Sergeant Major, you need to sound the fuck off. What was that?" Everyone starts laughing, and he looks at me. I'm like, I just told him, "Sergeant Major, sound the fuck off." I feel really dope right now. I'm like, man, because again, it is a terrifying thing in the military.
Yes.
You don't interact with those people.
No, because they have all the power. Now he knows he can't tell you shit.
No, exactly. Nope. And well, you can't fire me.
Yeah.
I'm out, dog. Yeah. I'm good. This is my show. You fuck off right now. It's so cool though, being able to help the military interact. Now, from your position, my position, where it's like hands off, talk to them, chill, but we get to go home at the end of the day.
Yep.
And they can't tell you what to do.
No, they can't make you push or make your life or put you on that shitty detail.
What's for you? What's the next big video other than the SWAT stuff? Getting into that, I'm super stoked to see that one for Pepperbox.
And I'm very excited now because I just found out that it's New York City, which is going to be crazy. Some counter narcotics raids in New York City. That's so easy for me. I thought I was gonna have to like fly out to somewhere, but I'll just drive to New York City and watch people get yoked up by SWAT. New York SWAT too? Are you kidding me? That's I don't think they don't give access really.
No, a lot of the times it's like what you can do in the military compared to your average person. You have a lot of pull now because you're painting all this in a positive light, and I think a lot of them are catching on. It's like, oh shit, like there is this negative stigma,
yes,
because lack of information, lack of video, and then there's just whatever's getting pushed. It's like, oh, terrible humans,
people fill in their own story
versus what you're gonna go do, which awesome idea. It's like, I want to do this. I think that would be really dope.
Yeah, people love the cartel videos. So, I mean, that's who's dealing drugs in New York is a fucking cartel and their associates.
Have you done any cartel stuff in the south of Texas? Because it's like, it's weird watching the cartels because they don't fuck around. It's wild to see that, and then knowing that's just the problem and how big of a problem that we just ignored. That's right next door. We're like, we got to do ISIS. We got to worry about ISIS. We got to worry about these people. And you're like, bro, like there's a border. Are you sure that's the issue over there?
Yeah, because this dude's cutting people's heads off online, like right a couple miles from here. Yeah, totally. The cartel's fucking crazy. I mean, I'm glad it's getting more attention now.
Do you think now with the raid videos, what's your dream scenario with those?
I hope that it resonates with people and that we can do more of them. And because I don't get to do a ton of on location stuff, and being able to go out on location and actually film things is that to me is some of the most rewarding stuff. Like when I went to Ukraine and actually got on the ground and saw for real what is happening, because I can go through all these sources and like understand a little bit better, but unless you're there, no one knows Iraq like you do, man. Like no one knows that shit as well as someone who's been there and seen it with their own eyes. It's that's like a whole huge reason why I got into doing YouTube videos, was to see it, to be able to actually do these things.
You think you could go now to Ukraine with Kiddo?
No.
Dude, imagine
0% chance.
Imagine deploying after having a kiddo. Like, my respect for the dudes that did that while I was in, because I didn't have a kid. I like my respect immediately after I had riding. I was like, dude, I don't know how you fucking did that. Like, just leaving your kiddo and not the unknown.
People would tell me they had kids and shit, but I was 19, so I was like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yep.
Not thinking, like, if you die, holy fuck, are they in trouble? And you're leaving behind. And we had a guy in my unit who left behind 2 kids.
Yep.
And that is, oh my God.
Dude, we had Dole, like Dole had it was multiple fucked up ones, but one of the dudes that died from the battalion. Dole, your kiddo was just born, so you're going back home. We're moving your 2 weeks. You know, I forget what it's called.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on it too. What your
damn it, mid-deployment leave, whatever the fuck it's called. So like, there's some word for it.
Leave?
Yeah, we'll call it leave. Your leave. So it's like, hey, your kiddo's born. You're gonna go back, or your wife's going into labor and about to happen. So we'll get you kicked back. But okay. Oh well, real quick, you have to go. A striker's stuck, so you have to go pull the striker out real quick, and then you'll head back and fly out. Cool. They go out. This is in Baghdad, so it's like, I think it was just, we lived out in sector. They were just a little southwest of where we were, and it was like a mud area. So they go to pull the striker out, and he's on the ramp, like doing the like, oh, we're gonna do this, like, come forward. We're trying to line up those stupid bars. And sniper shot him in the head. Done. He had one quick mission before going home. That one mission that changed everything instantly, like that. And it was like and it was supposed to be, hey, you just got to do this, and you're going back home to see your newborn kid. Yep. And those are those things for me. I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I didn't have ride until after. I was like, you waited to have a kiddo fucking well after.
After Iraq, she was pregnant while I was in Ukraine,
which is still like, you're like, oh, but when you hold your kiddo,
yeah. And it's the way I looked at it. I was like, it's not like I was there fighting and gonna stay there for a year, pushing my luck for a year. I took risks that I was like, calculated risks.
But one wasn't a calculated risk, right? You went a little further into the
that went against my calculations. That did go against my calculations, because one of my rules was I'm not going anywhere without EW. If we don't have electronic warfare, I'm not going. And that ended up, I broke that rule.
It was just because miscommunication.
It was a miscommunication. And that's like how you get killed, is fucking being stupid. And it was one of the things that the guy told me. He's like, who did I talk? I talked to this guy who runs Bears and Bees. I'm getting it wrong, but he's awesome war correspondent who I spoke to before I went over there and asked him just, what do I need? What do I need to bring with me? What do I not need to bring with me? How do I not get myself killed? Because he'd been there, he'd done that, he'd been through like some bad shit, and he told me, just don't break your rules in terms of like, don't go, because some guys will take you out places, and you know, if they take you without electronic warfare and you get unlucky, like you'll get yourself killed. And there was a miscommunication because there's so many languages going around. And I didn't realize that we were going to the front.
Turn down the temperature?
Yes. It was a moment like that. Yeah. They're like, I was like, hey, could you turn it down? Because that's the way to ask to turn the heat up, right? That's
Cappy's
like how
can you take me to the front lines? I'm at the front lines at the airport. Why am I
here? Oh my God. It was such a whirlwind, man. I made it back out of the country.
When was the moment again? When was the moment when it was, oh yeah, hey homie, you're fucking
It was
here.
when it was too late. It was when we had already been driving for 20 minutes and my interpreter said, we're going to Touretsk. And I was like, Touretsk? Not the Touretsk that's like surrounded right now by Russian. And he was like, yeah, that's where we're going. I'm like, I did not know we were going there. I did not, like, I'm okay. On the one hand, I've been asking for them to take me to the front for like 3 days. And each time we've tried to go, they're like, we can't go. They're getting hit with artillery on the way in constantly. They're laying mines with drones. We can't go. We can't go. We can't go. So on the one hand, I'm like, finally, this is our chance. On the other, I'm like, that's not where we agreed to go. That's not where I wanted to go. That place is surrounded right now. And I didn't want to go that close. Also, I wanted to go only 10 kilometers to the zero line. And we're going 3 and then 5. We're going real quick, dropping off a bunch, kicking, just the way they kick shit out too. They drove up, just like, yeah, boom, boom. Here's the shit, get out of here. We're going to the other spot that's a little further away. Was not okay with any of that. And then yeah, on the way in, they're in constant communication with the headquarters over radio, and they radioed that there was a Russian drone tracking us on thermals and that we had to get out of there. So they turned around, parked the vehicle under some trees, and we waited there until we got word, okay, it's clear, now go back, try to make it again. And as we're driving, I got this on video, but I'm looking out the window and there's just artillery explosions going off on the way into the position. And I'm like, what? You see the artillery shells going. And then when we're at the position, they're just hitting us we're within mortar range. So they're hitting us with mortars and 152 rounds of artillery and airstrikes. So you hear the cab, the bombs flying overhead low. But even that, I'd say maybe it was, I don't know, I want to guess like maybe 20, 30 artillery shells and just munitions over that course of that night that I stayed out there. And I can't imagine if it's 7 a second. Like,
bro, right?
Like, holy shit. But it was,
I never thought about that. Like, even for me getting shot at or any of those, like when a mortar would come to the base, but like it's one every like rarity or oh, we gotta go, like any of that. 7 a second.
those guys, they told me too, they were like, what the fuck are you doing here? Yeah. I would give anything to not have to drive out there tonight. I had to cut, I can say this now that it's been so long, but I had to cut parts of the video out of what these soldiers were saying, because I was respectful in terms of, like, I'm not going to post stuff that
gets them in trouble with leadership.
OPSEC and getting people in trouble I didn't want. So there was stuff I cut, but yeah, he's just like, you should not be here. You don't belong here. You're going to get yourself killed. This is stupid of you. And that was when I started to get scared, because I was like, fuck, he's absolutely right.
What was the miscomms that he was like, oh, he wants to go here? Because did they just hear front line? Oh, okay, we'll take you here.
We were supposed to, first we went to the artillery positions, which I was told I'm like not that worried about. It's a little tense. The further and further east you go, you feel it. It gets more tense. The way people talk, they get more
everything, dude.
Yes. Yeah. Suddenly everyone's driving with lights out. It's like little tiny things that get more and more intense as you get closer and closer to the zero line. The artillery position I'm very comfortable with. There's dangers, there's risks. it's relatively low. And I knew we were going to go to the artillery positions, and then I thought that we were going to go with a killer drone team, that one of those drone teams that goes out 10 kilometers, and I thought we were going to be 10 kilometers away. And I didn't think we were going to be in the Touretsk area. I thought we were going to be in a different part of the front. So when we went to the town of Konstantinivka, which right now they're attacking. The area that I was in is Russia's now totally overrun, but Konstantinivka, we're there where they still had power and they're charging the batteries, and then they just said, they're like, get it, you guys get in this car, and we'll take you. I didn't know where they were going to take us from, but they just were like, get in this car, and then that's when we started going out to the front. And I thought we were going to go in an armored vehicle, but it was a fucking pickup truck. Like, it's like the RAV4, but with no back. Like, that's what we drove out there. You're in. So that when I went to Kursk, when I went to Russia, like, we were in an armored vehicle, and we had like, I think I have some form of cancer from the type of electronic warfare they had on that thing. They pressed the button and it just went. You could hear it. You could feel it in your brain. It's like, it's a scrambler. I felt safe that a drone wasn't gonna, it was gonna jam whatever was coming in. Like,
and that was
your
in
nose
Russia?
starts to bleed. That was when I went into Russia.
Oh, got you when you actually drove.
So we started
that line. Yep.
Went over the international border. Now Russia's taken that all back. But they did about, I think, like a month after I left, they took it back. But yeah, it's loud as fuck. It's like a red button. It looks like a, just like a red switch button that they hit, and it whirls. And that was scarier in some ways because the artillery was closer and louder. But and there was a lot of outgoing as well, which spooked me because I wasn't used to being right next to. Yeah, it shakes the ground and shit. And there was friendly drones too. So you hear friendly FPV drones going out to hit their positions, and every time you could tell who had been in Kursk for a while because you'd hear the bzzz of the FPV, and they would just kind of like be, and I'm like, like ducking like a little bitch, and the outgoing would go out, and I'd be like,
dude, you get so desensitized to it when I've said it a million times, when we have going on raids towards when you're 5 months, 6 months into deployment, we'd smoke fucking cigarettes in the middle of the night. And they're like, you're giving away your sniper position. It's like, dude, they're going to shoot me in the head at least. I won't feel a thing. I don't care. I just want to smoke before this mission. All I care for. Cool. Dope. And then you're going to it. Mortars coming in when we'd have the rare opportunity to go to base on one of the big bases with the internet to check our MySpace and emails and stuff. We're like, oh, yeah, let's do this every 20 to 30 days. So you're like, stoked. You wait in line, you get there, internet people, like, everyone's like checking it, and then mortar sirens going off. The fucking officers and everyone's running for the bunkers, and wait. All of us just walk in and sit down, like, cool. It's internet time. They lost their seats. No, dude, yeah, or people get on this, like, what are you doing, homie? He's gonna kill us anyways. Why are you so sweating? It's like, at least we can check our email at the time. Like, it did not care. You just stopped caring. Like, nah, the drones would be so weird about.
Yep. I thought I was dead when I heard it. I thought this is it. This is the last thing I'm gonna hear. I hope it hits someone else. That was like the first thought that went through my head. Hope it hits someone else.
You throw somebody, you just pick somebody up and shield yourself. No, take this Russian or a Ukrainian instead. Like, what the fuck, homie?
I interviewed some of the Russians that were living there that were under Ukrainian occupation. Spoke to them, interviewed, I guess, hey, how are they treating you? How's it going? Which is surreal, just fucking weird
It's they're so in. If it was like the Iraqis, it's indifference. Well, that's maybe more because it's so short period. The Iraqis were so indifferent of everything going on. You'd still see that mindset of, oh yeah, we still have Saddam's picture up because he's going to come back and kill us if we take this photo down. And you're like, okay, that's weird. Whatever.
The Iraqis, I found them to be very different people than the Russians in a way. How? I felt that Iraqis were more just culturally so totally different from us, and also what they value and how they value it is so different from us. Like I just felt like they treated life very differently there, and with way sort of less value, or maybe more of a function of like seeing death all the time for so much. I don't know. The Russians are, I would say, much more close culturally to Americans. You know, they're like kind of like Europeans in a way.
So when you'd interact with them, like those people, what was their mindset? Or
these people are psychos because they were the people that refused to evacuate. The only people that were left in Kursk were people who, most people had already left. Most people,
older people too.
Very old, yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Fuck you, I'm not leaving.
I've been here for 50 years. I grew up here. I've been here for 80 years. I'm not going anywhere. Fuck you, exactly. So I shared some cigarettes with them, gave them some cigarettes because that's like, they didn't really have that, but they were like super old and curmudgeon and stubborn and still telling the Ukrainian soldiers like, go fuck yourself.
Dude, I love old people to that degree. It's no different than Americans. It'd be the same thing.
Yes.
80-year-old soldiers or 80-year-old dudes if we had an occupying force. If you think terrorism or how like, oh, they're fighting so shitty, I would never do that. America would do that so quickly if there was an invading country. Like, y'all would adapt really fast. And then the old people would be like, fuck you.
And it's probably one of the poorest parts of Russia too. So we're not talking about well-educated and wealthy people. These people were, their places, they didn't have running water. They didn't have bathrooms. They didn't have flushing toilets, I should say.
Yeah, and then floors. I mean, probably you have different level, like wood or dirt.
They lived in kind of shacks out there in this area, and I walked through a couple of houses that got hit by bombs, the airstrikes from Russia that had airstriked these houses, and their houses were just, it's actually kind of weird because some of the houses, they look like European houses almost, really, really poor European houses, and you're there with these these babushkas, old Russian ladies that are crying over their house has been fucking leveled by a 300-pound bomb that they've lived in forever and killed their. I saw written on a door. I asked the interpreter, I was like, what does that say? And he said, mom's dead, meet me at, and then like an address, just because that's the only way to communicate with people. So yeah, pretty fucked.
That's why we have it so. It's one of my biggest irritations with a lot of Americans not understanding true hardship. Like, they look at a negative thing here, and like, it's the end of the world. We're living under fascist dictatorship. Oh, this is terrible. And you're like, homie, have you seen what other people go through? Like, as you're saying, that's a note that, hey, mom's dead. I go here. And that's how you're communicating, which means there's no cell phones. There's none of that. Exactly. This is it. Like, somebody's going to walk up, a family member, then have to read that, be like, go through that emotional process, then hope where that address is, that person is still there.
Yep.
And then that's it. That's like, and that's life. That's a normal life. You're like, oh, okay. Kevin's talked about in Africa, it's wild seeing the different level of respect for life, where you have elephant. They went hunting elephant. Like, boom, fucking killed an elephant. Like, okay, cool. Harvest, get everything, eat it. It's for the village. And they're clearing out this animal, and they're getting the meat. And I think one of the dudes on top like swung down and it went through a rib or anything and hit one of the dudes that was working on the inside in the head, just hit him in the skull, like killed him. Like, so bam, pulled it out, homie's dead, and they're like, and they were annoyed. So then they had to toss his body to the side and get him out so he doesn't contaminate his blood with the elephant. And they just kept going about. That was it.
That's what I mean by that value of life in that whole region of between like Africa and the Middle East. It's just kind of like, oh, there's another dead one.
And it's that, and that's it. It's like, Brandon, we were talking about that. I think, that was yesterday, the video of one of the dudes. It was in a little, it was Africa, but it was in a black market area. And a dude's walking around with a shotgun, the pistol grip, and he's pointing at its chest, playing with the trigger. And it's a celebration, like, oh, and he's like, pointing the 12 gauge at his chest. And you're like, what the hell's going on? And then he accidentally, I guess, hits the trigger, boom, just shoots himself in the chest with 12 gauge, falls to the ground. And everyone's like, and they keep celebrating. They just pick up his body and dance it off camera.
What?
Dude. You can, like, these are all videos you can just look up and you're like, okay, yeah, it's a completely different level of like human life. That's how anything like that, when you read or do any research on it, you get to see how that happens, that mindset of how they manipulate the kiddos and then how they turn them into soldiers.
It's pretty much the only thing you can't talk about, or it's one of the big things you can't talk about on YouTube is can't mention it. You cannot mention it. It will get age restricted immediately.
Interesting.
It's one of the things I've wanted to cover. I'm like, and people don't talk or think about this, but you kind of can't. Not on YouTube anyway. You kind of can't.
We're say so bleep, and we'll say sea soldiers for now. I didn't know it was that bad.
What I mean is a whole video on it. It probably looks at, if you mention it or something, might be worth not putting in, but it is interesting how I've had to take out any reference or mention of that.
Which is a disservice to everything. It's like, I hate how it's like block or work around that word, super slide, or
which cheapens it,
unaliving yourself. And it's like, how do you address a serious issue, like especially veteran community? It's like, okay, so we just have to make stupid words in order to talk about it.
That makes me want to.
Yeah,
if you make me say unalive, if I hear that one more time, yeah.
Hey, Cappy, you're looking kind of depressed. I don't want you to unalive yourself.
Oh my god, fuck.
I've thought about sewer sliding from a time or two, but I've never done that because me unalived. What can I do for my family? You're like, huh? Now I'm going to go do that.
It's like a George Orwell nightmare of doublespeak, where you got to use like vague words to explain. You should be able to just say the thing. Yeah.
Crazy story. It's like why we have Pepperbox.
Yes.
One of the main reasons, like, this is fucking stupid. Dude, yeah. Cappy, where can the amazing people find you?
Please look for me at Cappy Army on YouTube, and we got some great stuff on Pepperbox as well. That's the combat reviews on there that you could check out.
It's always a pleasure. I am so sorry. I just realized how much time we took. I apologize for that. I was like, I was like an hour 30 now. I was like, I'm fucking a dickhead,
dude. I this is why I came out here. I came out here to do. This is why we're here. This is my
dude. I can listen to y'all talk. It just indefinitely. It's learning. It's amazing, and it's your life experiences. Especially, it's you're now a dad, husband. Right before that, though, you were in a war zone, and then even that mind shift in a couple months, where you're like, the second you picked up that kiddo, it's like, I would never do that again.
Yeah. I'm like, I need I need to see. I so badly now want to see. I want to live forever, so I can see. I just want to be there with her and watch her grow up. And before, you kind of don't think that way. You get that. You also, for the first time, I felt like I understood. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna live forever. It does end, and there is a new generation. And okay, that's nice.
It's an awesome thing. And then any words of wisdom to the people before we sign off?
I appreciate you guys. I love you dearly.
Oh, they're gonna be like, oh, thank you. Fuck you.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes.
What did I do? Well, thank you so much for coming. It's always a pleasure, my friend. And we will see you guys next time. Love you.